Good evening, everyone. In this video, I would like to show you a dashboard that I've created on Power BI. This dashboard contains a visualization of my stock investment. This is my personal stock investment, and you can see that this visualization is simple. It is undecorated. So the reason for this is for my personal consumption. So I didn't really spend a lot of time to decorate it. But another reason is because I just want to keep track of my investment. Okay, so now let's look at the data that I have in order to keep track my investment. So the data that I have is stored in a Microsoft Excel file. So the file is called stock lookup. All right, it is saved on my computer, and the format of this file is a .xlsx. It's an Excel file. It's not a CSV file. The reason for this is because I need to get the latest stock price, right? And the only one of the ways that I use to get the latest stock price is to use the stock data types, which is available in Microsoft Excel 365. So which is why the file is the stock lookup file is saved as an Excel file and created in Microsoft Excel 365. So you can see here in my raw data file, I have a couple of columns. So this is the column for stock code, stock name, the stock ticker, and the price, and so on. So the real game changer here is the stock ticker here. So you can see that it is blinking, right, because it's trying to collect the latest stock information for this particular stock from Microsoft Excel. So all you need to do is to use this function, but I'm not going to go through that in this video. So suffice to say that this data types, right, this function allows me to get the latest stock price, right? As you can see here, the formula is C2.price, so which is this column. So for this particular stock, the latest stock price is 2.75, and I also get the date of the previous close, market close, and this is the date of today and the time now. Now I try to refresh this data, okay, but you don't see any changes to the price except for for this column there is no change, and this column there's no change, but you see that time has changed. So the reason for this is because today, 20th of August 2022, is a Saturday, so it's not a working day, so the market is closed. So that's why you don't see any change to the stock price. But in normal days, right, so in the normal working days, right, the stock price will constantly change, right? It will change automatically. So this is the file that I use, right, to keep track of my price, and I sort of like link it to Power BI. I'm not going to demonstrate how I link it, right? If you are interested, I have another video that talks extensively about how I link this stock lookup Excel file to Power BI, so you should check it out. But just want to add a little bit about this method of getting the latest stock price. So I don't feel that this is the most efficient way of doing it, because it's just too troublesome. So I need to, every time there's a change, right, in the information here, so I need to save the file in order to refresh it here, so that the changes is reflected, right, in this Excel file. So you can see that I need to refresh it in the Excel file, and over here I need to refresh it so that you get the latest stock price. So currently there is no other there is another way, but that is also not very efficient. So the problem happens, this problem happens is because in Power BI there is no way for me to get the latest stock price, at least not now. Okay, so let's get back to my Power BI dashboard, right? So let me just introduce the portfolio, right? The characteristic of this investor. So this is a typical buy and hold investor. So this investor is not really interested in the fluctuations of the stock prices. He's investing it for the long term. And second of all, his objective is to collect dividend. Okay, so as you can see, right, so even though the market value, right, of the capital gain of the stock price, right, has dropped more than 30%. So, but the investor is still holding to the stock, right? This clearly tells you that this is not a very active investor. So he's investing it in the long term, and he's only interested in the dividend yield. Okay. The reason why he has this kind of investment mindset is because he's not really a savvy investor, and second of all, he's thinking of getting a higher return from his investment as compared with traditional safe investment like in fixed deposit or bank deposit, right? So that is why he invested on a number of stocks, and all these stocks tends to give a very high dividend. Okay, so in this table over here, right? So I have done a list of stocks that the investor is holding. So it matches the raw data over here. So this is the price, right? The latest price of the particular stock. So 2.55 for the Agricultural Bank of China, right? And so the lots is a number of stocks that he holds. Purchase cost refers to the amount of investment, or the amount of capital that this investor has invested in this particular stock. So you can see that this investor, for example, for Agricultural Bank of China, right, 1288. So he has 3,000 lots, and he spent about $11,000 on this stock. So this is what I mean by the purchase cost. Now, what about the market value? So the market value is basically the current value of the stock. So you can see that the investor has made a loss in terms of the market value. So his initial investment is 11,700. Now the stock is only worth 7,650. So how I get this value is just multiply the current price with the number of holdings that he has. So you get 7,650. So today's change only happens during the market operations, and the capital gain here is the value of the stock if the investor were to sell it today at the market rate, right? So he obviously made a loss of about 35%, but he's still holding it right now. So on paper he's making a loss, but for this particular stock, right? So 6823, so he actually made a paper gain of 7%, and the same thing for this stock numbers. Code name 6, right? So it's making a paper gain of 23%, but all the others, it's making a paper loss. So this is the capital gain, right? So if I were to sell the stock today, so how much will I get back? So this is over here is a card that shows the summary of my total net asset, right? So the capital, right, is the amount of money that I spent, right, to purchase all these stocks. So it's actually a sum of this column, right, the purchase cost column. So the total expenditure, right, the total capital is about 111,000. The market value is only 91,000. So the market value is all this column, and so because of this difference, right, because the market value is lower than the capital, so I'm currently making a loss, right, of about 10%. So this is a general illustration of my stock condition. Now, the most important part, right, like I mentioned earlier, is the dividend, right, because this is a buy and hold investor, so he's only interested in the dividend. All right, so how much am I getting every year by putting my money in your business? Right, so the cumulative dividend yield so far is 29%. So what it is that it's just total amount of dividend collected so far, right, throughout his investment career, right, divided by the total capital, right? So the percentage of return is about 30%. And over here, so there is a bar chart that shows, the amount of dividend yield over capital, right? For example, for this particular stock, right, ABC, Agricultural Bank of China. So the investor has been holding it since 2015 until today. So in 2015, the amount of dividend yield over capital, right? So the amount of dividend that it collects divided by the purchase cost, right? The cost, right? 11,786. So in that year, he made a dividend yield of 2.32%, and the following year is 4%. In 2017, it drops to 2.8%, and so on. So you can see that the dividend yield is quite high. And what about the other stocks, right? Like this is his favorite stock, right? So this is the Pacific Assets Holding, stock number 6. So in 2021, he made a dividend yield of 7%, and currently it stands at 4.97%. So he's waiting for the second dividend. So this is a general descriptions, right, introduction about this this dashboard, right, for this particular investor. So this is a very simple dashboard to keep track of the mainly about the total dividend, right, that the investor is getting. Thank you.